Good morning. This is Florida Plant Mom coming to you from Zone 10A, Central Florida. It is a beautiful spring day here in Central Florida, and it is the perfect day to get out and do some stuff in the garden. Come along with me and we'll get some chores done. We'll do some spring things. First off, I want to show you something I'm pretty happy about. Look at there. I am stoked. Now, we did not repot this orchid together. However, we did repot this orchid together. And look at her shine. Yes. She is flowering. I'm so excited. Now, she's got a couple of yellow leaves on her. I've got to do a little bit of research to find out if that's healthy or if that's just an old leaf that I need to cut off, but look at that bloom. First time I've gotten an orchid to rebloom for me. Great news. Then here, we've got the Pride and Joy fiddle leaf plant. And this is what has happened in just a little bit over a year, 2 seasons. Now, these are supposedly indoor plants, but we know indoor plants are really outdoor plants that have been acclimated to indoor conditions. Look at that. This one is probably it's definitely taller than 6 feet. So yes, they started off really, really small and they stay outdoors pretty much all year. I take them in during the frost. All right, so we're out here in the backyard, and today's goal is going to be to find a home for the new plant babies. These were rescued from the clearance shelf of Lowe's. I shop there, window shop there, probably about once every other week to see what I can find. I like the perennial plants on clearance because they're a great deal. And they're perennial. I almost never get the annuals on clearance because they don't pack as much bang for their buck. Yes, I shop the clearance rack. Haven't we already established that I am frugal? And they come back next year with vigor. And guess what? We get seeds out of it too, because all of these spent flowers, they dry up. Those are seeds. I pull those off and sprinkle them around in other places where I'd like this flower. And there you have it. I get extra plants for half the price because these are marked off. And guess what? They're under $5. Under $5. You know that's what my goal is when I'm buying new plants. Isn't that pretty? It's an African violet. This I have many of in the yard already. By many I mean like 3 or 4. This is a perennial called Athena Sun Europs. I've got here a Blue Diamonds Delphinium, and I've got some verbena. Well, here it is. Empress Sun Verbena. And I got some black velvet mushroom compost because look here, people, look here. I'm getting this bed in shape. We're gonna plant some things out in this bed today. So in that Vigo bed, I'm gonna be planting these callaloo or green amaranth. I'm also gonna sow some of these seeds in that garden bed. And of course the space would not be complete without some flowers. So I'm gonna do just these tiny zinnias around the perimeter. These seeds are super, super tiny. Can you even see them? I'm gonna go ahead and broadcast them in the space because they're so small. another pack here. It's the same thing. Here's a better look at the seeds. How tiny they are. Let's sprinkle them in. Now for the perilla. Indeed, seeds are pretty tiny too. Bigger than the last batch though. You can see them. They're small. So I'm gonna do these closer to the edges. The lily puts, just to add a little bit more interest. This will be primarily green in here. So the zinnias I'm going to kind of just sprinkle. And I'm just going to kind of zhuzh the dirt a little bit just to get everything mixed in. Nothing crazy. Seeds will fall in place. There's that. Okay. Those seeds are planted. Now on to the next task. The blue delphinium is going to go here and here. This area of the garden is shaping up to be something spectacular. Look. Those are my liatris. You can see many of them are coming up. Isn't that pretty? The lobelia is still the star of the show in my opinion. But the Elysium stands out as well. African daisy. Look. There's another variety of daisy. It's another one that I rescued from the Perrenials on the clearance shelf at the big box store. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. It's spring now. It is spring. So I decided to put the Euryopsis here, the Athena Sun Euryopsis, and the blue diamond delphinium in here in the little woodland garden I've got going up underneath the flowering Barbados cherry tree. One of the verbenas will go here. There she is. And she can sprawl a bit back here behind or in front of the blue-eyed grass. Now you got a better look at what the little flowers look like on the blue-eyed grass. The other verbena back in here. There we go. I think that'll look great when it flowers again in this area. But even with the green, I think it's pretty. Look, we've got a rose. It's just about to open its flower. I've got to mention the flowers on the gar. I'm gonna go ahead and get these things planted and then we'll take another look. Now space goes untouched in this garden. There she goes. Her roots have already been teased a bit. She's not root bound in this pot, so that's perfect. So I'll turn her in the angle that I leave back. Beautiful. Get that native dirt back around her. Make sure she's snug. And fill her in with the mulch. The insects have woken up for spring. What are they? They were all over one of my agave plants, and I just kind of scooped them up and put them down here to inspect them a little bit closer. See how they're hopping around? Are those? That's one that got left behind. Can you see him on the tip of that agave leaf? Anybody know what they are? Find another? It's gonna hop. It looks like a grasshopper, but I wonder if it's those big old ginormous katydid things that like to eat stuff. And this is the baby. I think so. Look at those beautiful flowers. Space is really starting to come alive. My favorite flower, Gumfrina. And these nasturtiums are owning this space. And I got my first chamomile. I don't even know when this flowered, but I've got to come out here and pick these. Look at this show. Isn't it pretty? These are the calendulas. More of them, more calendulas down here. And look, my yarrow is about to flower for the first time. Before me stands the DIY tomato trellis. I wanted to give you an update on how that's doing since there was so much interest in this trellis. As you can see, it's doing pretty well at holding these tomatoes upright, and they have almost reached the top. I haven't had to really adjust the strings at all. They're climbing just fine. We've got our first tomatoes on, and we've got our first pretty much ripe sun gold tomato, and some more right behind it. And we've got the champion tomatoes that are in the ground doing their thing, and there are some pepper plants, hot pepper plants, interplanted in between. So this is the DIY tomato trellis. That's it for the day. I've done a lot of work. I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, and end it here, and I hope you join me for the next one.